Put on pause for a second. Do you know what it means to lie?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It means when you don't say something true. To cover up something, maybe.
I'm gonna give you a 5 on 10 for the thoroughness of that answer. Put this on pause for 1 second. Okay, you are not in trouble. I have a question for you. What does it mean to lie? Do you know what it means to lie? How would you define a lie?
Saying something that's not true.
This is the common misconception and misuse of the term lie, especially in today's...
I knew it was a trick question.
Especially in today's era of hyper politics. You know, I could probably push the kids if you want.
So you were kind of doing the same thing.
Don't worry, I saw it. Sorry. No, a lie is not merely to say something that is false.
With intention.
All right, my wife reminded me that I have to do the standard introduction. For those of you who don't know me, I am Viva Frei, a Montreal litigator turned YouTuber. I practiced commercial litigation for over 10 years. I've been posting a video a day, every day since November 2016, when we went on a 3-week West Coast road trip to celebrate the freedom that comes along with being financially irresponsible. Thursdays are our Throwback Thursdays day because I posted over 1,100 videos and a lot of the new subscribers have no idea of some of my older content. So every Thursday, in addition to posting a new video, I post a Throwback Thursday to what I think is one of my better older videos that a lot of people probably have never seen. Okay, meltdown in 3, 2, 1. Go to swim class. See you soon. The thing about lying is that it requires intent to mislead. You can say something that is factually incorrect and not lie if it was a genuine belief. You can lie through omission, not even saying anything, but you can lie through omission if by that omission you are intending to mislead. The most clear-cut form of lying is by saying something that you know to be factually incorrect, but there's another type of lying which is saying something that you have no reasonable grounds to believe to be true. So making up stories that could conceivably, by some fluke of hazard, be true can still be a lie if you have no reasonable grounds to believe it to be true when you say it. A big problem is that we live in an era of hyper-politics where people are quick to jump on the accusation of lying. Any politician says anything that might turn out to be untrue, not 100% accurate, people pounce with the accusation of lying, disregarding the intent behind the statement. Or, in order to justify their accusations of calling someone a liar, they fabricate what would have to be the requisite intent for something to be a lie in the first place. Regardless, you have to be very, very wary before calling someone a liar because you have to know intent, not just factual inaccuracy in the statement. You got it? Something I learned from the practice of law, and it was very frustrating to learn. You can't call opposing counsel a liar, ever. You are members of a professional order, and judges consider it to be extremely discourteous to call another lawyer a liar. That lawyer will consider it defamatory, so if you do it, you'd better get ready for some threats of a lawsuit and defamation or complaint to the professional order. Also, it doesn't accomplish anything. Calling someone a liar is a conclusion. It's not a fact. It is not a conclusion for you to assert as a fact. If someone is lying, you have to show why they are lying, not say that they are lying. The best lawyers never accuse you of lying. They just make it abundantly clear to a judge that you did, in fact, lie. You being the other party, never me, because I actually never lie, because I'm afraid of getting caught in a lie all the time, every time. There are fringe benefits to living in perpetual fear. One of those is 100% transparency and honesty. Okay, you, get this, we gotta go, let's go. Okay, now where was I going with all of this? No. Oh yeah, that's right, Tanacon. So I've gotten a little more obsessed than I care to admit with this Tanacon fiasco since having watched PewDiePie's original review. I did a video which was a sort of a summary legal analysis of what I saw in PewDiePie's video. For those of you who don't know Tanacon, Tanacon was like a VidCon type conference thrown by this YouTuber named TANA MONGEAU, and it turned out to be this huge fiasco where 6,000 people showed up to a conference room that could only hold 1,000. People were waiting outside for 4 hours in the sweltering heat. They ended up chanting refund, refund. TANA, this company called Good Times, owned by this guy named Michael Weiss, ended up taking all the flack. Everyone's throwing each other under the bus, blaming each other for all the problems. Anyhow, if you're a regular on YouTube, you know all about it. If you don't, that's the executive summary, 30,000 feet. Don't need to go into any more detail because it's absolute madness. To begin with, I think I have gone down a dead end here. A lot of the comments in my Tanacon and law legal analysis video were telling me to watch Shane Dawson's 3-part docu-series about the whole Tanacon fiasco. The players in this fiasco, you have TANA MONGEAU, who is the YouTuber throwing the Tanacon, Good Times Michael Weiss, who is the company, the production company, Veep, which is the ticket sales company, and Shane Dawson, who is also a huge YouTuber who apparently undertook or promised or said he would attend Tanacon. He was one of the bigger grabs for TANA. She was boasting that Shane Dawson was going to be there, and he undoubtedly drew a lot of people. So those are the players. Shane Dawson's docu-series, he's not in a position to do any sort of investigative journalism in this because he is both a party and a potential witness. So he is never going to be objective enough to do any sort of meaningful analysis. He is always going to be trying to shirk his own responsibility, if only subconsciously. I don't say he's a party in terms of responsibility, but he is certainly a player, easily a witness, potentially a party, to the extent that he backed out of giving his conference for whatever the reason. I'm not blaming him. I think I probably would have run 1,000 miles from that thing, if only for fear of an angry mob. Okay, so where are we going with all of this? Since we're paying a little bit of attention to details, I do want to call one thing. I said Good Times wasn't going to have the money at the end of the day, and apparently, from Shane Dawson's reporting, they don't. That money is being held by the ticket sales company called Veep. Good Times signed a personal guarantee to reimburse in the event of refunds, so that now Michael Weiss is personally on the hook to reimburse everyone for their ticket sales. The litigator in me wants to know who owns Veep. Veep, I suspect, might not be a totally arm's length company from the players in this game, but even if they are, Veep is probably holding that money in escrow in the event of a dispute. Veep doesn't just get to keep $325,000 for ticket sale. Veep was never going to be entitled to that money in the first place, so it doesn't make sense that Veep keeps it and Michael Weiss and Good Times have to pay out of their own pocket. Ordinarily, Veep holds that money in escrow, in trust, for a specific purpose. If it can't accomplish that purpose any longer, it will return it to the people who purchased the tickets, less whatever their costs are. But Veep doesn't get to keep $325,000 just because Tanacon was a flop. I genuinely don't care about the gossipy who's to blame, who's going to be smeared in this entire thing. I don't care about the individual aspect of this fiasco. I'm more interested in the broader life lessons to be drawn from it, which brings us back to lying. Do you feel confident determining if you think someone is lying?
I have a pretty good lie.
You're a good lie detector? What are some of the indications that you go by in order to determine if you think someone is not telling you the truth?
Too much information.
Too much information. Very good. We've been married for too long. Coming back to the beginning, lying. I've watched Shane Dawson's 3-part miniseries. I've watched PewDiePie's 2 videos on this. Incidentally, this is going to be my last video on the subject as well, because as interesting as I find it, I think it's been exhausted. The interesting thing is lying. How do you know when someone is lying? In cross-examination, I could tell when someone was lying based on a number of indications. Now, it's going to sort of sound like I'm saying something and it's opposite at the same time. Like, when they give you too much information, they're lying. When they don't give you enough information, they're lying. It is contextual. Pudge, making a video here. Thank you. It is contextual and it's based on experience, but some of the indications. When you ask someone a question and they immediately divert the answer, it's a good indication that they're not being truthful in their statement. If you ask someone a question and they give you an unnecessary amount of detail, it's an indication that they are trying to distract you from the crux by giving you details on periphery. Sort of like a horse without his blinders, you get distracted by everything that they're saying so that you can't pinpoint the inaccuracy or untruthful statement that they are in fact making. I have typically For those of you who don't know, I also have 2 dogs. I have typically found that when someone starts a sentence off by saying, "to the best of my recollection," that is a surefire CYA preface. Cover your... It's irritating, but I know to delve more into that particular line of questioning because the only people who say "to the best of my recollection" are liars and politicians. There is a reason why witnesses in congressional hearings always start their answer off with "to the best of my recollection," because when they are proven to have said something false in the future, they can say, "well, it was only to the best of my recollection." What are you guys doing? But the most important takeaway from all of this that I found of particular interest in watching all the videos, there is a difference between an authentic smile and an inauthentic smile. You may notice it in the future, but an authentic smile is, it goes up. Everything tends to go up. It's like your face is being built up. An inauthentic smile is as though your face is being pulled back, and it's very linear, a fake smile. Like this. Linear. The same thing holds true for crying. Now, authentic crying is sort of a crushing of the face. Everything goes down. Inauthentic crying, everything goes back, like this. And that's when I got the impression that there was insincere, she may have been crying for other reasons, but it was an insincere cry when she was doing the Shane Dawson's videos because her face was very much being stretched back like this. And not crying is when your soul, let me just put my glasses back on. Typically, you cry when you get crushed. The other thing is, I found 9 out of 10 times, when someone starts crying in cross-examination, it's because they've been caught in a lie. Some people are gonna say, well, they're crying because they've gone through a traumatic experience. The irony, and I can tell you this, at least from my experience in cross-examinations, people actually tend not to cry when recounting a story of trauma. They tend only to bust out the tears when they get caught in a lie and they are trying to appeal to sympathy in order to get you to lay off, back off, cool down, and stop pressing with the questioning. It doesn't make me feel good to do it, but the thing is this, when you see someone crying, you know that they are breaking. That is when you have to pounce. That is when you have to delve deeper. That is when you have to get them either to bury themselves in the lie or to crack and finally tell you the truth. You have to have the stomach to do it, and after 10 years I decided that I no longer had the stomach to do it, even though I could do it well. It's the type of thing where being good at it doesn't necessarily make you feel good. Is that what you want to do with the rest of your life? All that to say, this is how we are here today. This is my channel. I'm going to do these types of legal analyses of contemporary issues that are non-political in nature because nobody wants to see politics anymore. By the way, hashtag, oh, that's the other thing. We're going to do this, people. Hashtag World No Politics Day. The last time I made the video about it, I forgot to call the date. August 1st shall be hashtag
World No Politics Day.
Spread the word, spread the message, share, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and see you in the video tomorrow. Peace out.